Alright guys, it's been a long time since the last Minas Tirith update. Here's a look at how the mock has been looking. I added a lot of figures to kind of flesh out the scene more just for your guys' enjoyment. And then you can also see the Fell Beast there. So I made a few Bricklink orders and got some progress made. And hopefully you'll enjoy it for the rest of the episode. Especially in the inn, I think I added some really cool characters there. And hope you guys enjoy it. So the first part of the Bricklink order are a bunch of parts to make more Gondor knights. So I bought the legs, helmets, and breastplates. And the purposes of this is to build up the Gondor ranks of these soldiers here. And then another thing, if you've seen my last video on my Isildur minifigure, you've seen this helmet from the Thor mech. And you'll know that this works really well for Knights of Arnor as well as Knights of Numenor. Swap out my Gondor Knights to have an army of Numenor Knights, which I think is a really, really awesome part about this figure for future mocks. The thing you'll note is that I swapped out the shield to be this Nexo Knight shield from what I was using previously, this round shield. And this is a more traditional Lego minifigure shield, but I noticed that this one was a little more true to what we see in the movies for Gondor Knights. So I might be swapping out all of these round shields to the Nexo Knight shields. Let me know your feedback on that. What do you think looks better? Of course, the reason for buying more Gondor Knights is to hold back all of the forces of Mordor and Sauron that will be pouring through the gates of Minas Tirith, attacking the city. I also picked up a ton of white bricks that I will be using to actually swap out the panels on these buildings, and then I'll be able to use the panels to make the wall bigger and better. I bought some more tan plates to fill up the ground over here especially, as well as these black wings that I'll be using to add to my Fell Beast because I didn't have enough of those parts. You'll also notice with my Fell Beast, I went ahead and was able to pick up some of these ball joints to give the tail of the Fell Beast a little more posability. I did decide, however, that the ball joints don't work as well with the head and neck. So like I said, I'll be modifying the Fell Beast as you've seen it. You'll also notice I've added some claws to the Fell Beast to hopefully pick up some of these guys. I'll figure out a way to attach. Let's go ahead and get building and see how much progress I can make on the mock. Quick little tidbit I'd like to add in is I went ahead and sorted my entire Lego parts collection into these bins. So I now have all of my parts organized into different bins. Makes it a lot easier to find pieces and know what I have and be able to build really quickly. So if you don't have any of these, I would recommend picking them up. They come in different brands. I went ahead and got the one from the local hardware store. Otherwise, there are plenty of options online. All right, so the progress for this episode has been made. Check out the Fell Beast. I'm really starting to like this. It's growing more and more on me. I think it's really cool. Got this little clear stand for him. That's what he looks like when he's flying. Super sick. He'll be in the battle. I don't know what he'll be doing. He'll probably be flying over the castle wall or something, but he'll definitely be in the end mock. Let's move him off. So yep, all of this has been pretty much filled in. There are a few places over here that I still need a few more parts, but for the most part, you can see what it looks like with all of the sand and dirt tiles filled in. I've added a lot more figures to the mock just for purposes of making it look cool. Here we've got Théoden. He's not going to be in the mock, but here's a sneak peek at some of the action, and I'm going to be taking it into the inn to take a look at the progress we've made inside of there. All right, so here's a cool part of the progress for this update. I switched out all of these panels that were kind of ugly to see inside the building, and I switched them out for those 1x2x2 bricks. So now if you look inside of the lower part of the inn, much nicer interior with bricks all the way filled in. And another fun little thing about this is I went ahead and created some custom characters from Lego castle or Lord of the Rings, D&D, some sort of fantasy thing that you would imagine. So here's some of the figures I created, a lot of them using Lord of the Rings parts. And these are going to be some characters who are going to be in the Battle of Minas Tirith. They'll be holding down the inn during the attacks. So I think it's just a fun little element to play with. Here you've got the innkeeper. He's looking a lot like Butterbur there, trying to hold off the hordes of orcs that are starting to funnel into the building. You know, he is the unlucky real estate here. During times of war, when the orcs attack, they're going to be hitting up his shop first. So here's some other characters over here. We've got this guy with an axe. And then this guy here, who's also kind of like a cool fantasy character. So that's one fun thing I wanted to play with in this mock, is add some extra elements that I can, because obviously the outside is going to be pretty true to Lord of the Rings, but inside I think it can be really fun by spicing it up by adding some of these characters in here. So here's like a minifig view of the inside of the inn and what it looks like. You can see the orc peeping in, and really cool. I think, again, part of the cool thing of Lego is seeing things at a minifigure's perspective, and this is what the inn looks like right now. All right, so what is to come for Minas Tirith? So in the next update, I went ahead and purchased literally 1,300 of these. So for reference, there's about 130 that are used in this first floor, and I bought 10 times that amount of this white brick that will be used for the wall and gates of Minas Tirith. So you have that to look forward to in the update. There's going to be a huge wall expansion. It's already looking really cool in my opinion. Get the fell beast out of the way. I will be finishing the doors of Minas Tirith. So here's a preliminary view of what the door of Minas Tirith will look like for the orcs and Grand banging on the door trying to get into the city of Minas Tirith. That's a little sneak peek at next update. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be coming out with some more videos as well related to Lord of the Rings and fantasy Lego. So please continue watching, and thank you for your time.